Football o'clock. Yes, you're welcome to AFCON special. My name is Shegun Odunwayo, and I have with me newly crowned king of African journalists when it comes to print journalism in, yes, Africa. No, I wanted to say Nigeria, but I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, the king. It's Africa. Abiodun Adewale, congratulations on your award, AIPS Print Journalist of the Year.
Thank you very much.
Sweet.
Of course.
Fantastic.
For the house.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, so an award-winning man is here on a very fantastic night. You know what time it is, like I said earlier. Nigeria versus Cameroon, rivalry as old as sunlight itself. Of course, you know that Nigeria, the Super Eagles, and Cameroon, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, whenever you hear these guys coming against each other, it's always very dangerous, especially in games like this. The last time we played against them in an AFCON game, we won 3-2, 5-goal thriller. And of course, that was the night Odion Igalo shone like a million stars. But Biodun, we are playing in the next couple of minutes. Jose Pesero's men are there, 3-4-3. He has gone back to his 3-4-3. The boys who started for him in his, first 2 games are back, except for Alazan, who is on the bench. Ademola Lookman is back in the team. Trustekong is back in the team. Let us quickly look at the lineup. Stanley Wabali at the back, William Trustekong, Shemi Ajayi, Zaidu Sanusi, then there's Calvin Bassi, there's Olaino, there's the younger brother of JJ, JJ's nephew, Alex Iwobi. There's Frank Onyeka, who has been battle ready during this AFCON. And of course, up front, there's Victor Osimhen, the king of Africa, like you, the AIPS king. 2 kings one night. There's by the right, by the left, we have Lookman. Ademola Lookman, and by the right
Simon.
We have Moses Simon. Oh, okay. I think they can always switch. Do you think we are winning with that formation?
Of course, we should be able to win. It's a formation we've been using over and over. But at least in the last 3 matches or so, we used it once in the friendly before the tournament and 2 times now during the tournament. Maybe it does not worked once during that friendly, and maybe it has even worked during the games. But one of our colleagues here was saying something about the Super Eagles lineup, formation and all of that, depending on who they play. And it was from an expert analysis of an ex-international as well. Why do we have to play 3-4-3 against like Guinea-Bissau, even in our last game? But for Jose Peseiro to have even stuck with it against Cameroon now, he must have seen something in it. So in setup, you can't know better than a coach who handles
the team.
So with it, he knows what he's seeing, and what we should expect is that they should go all out with that formation and with that setup and execute their game plan very well. And so this time, it doesn't matter where you are from now. It doesn't matter what you did in the group stage. Boys have been separated from the men.
Of course.
And even if you came
Mokudus is home already.
And even if you came out with 2 points in the group stage,
it doesn't matter.
This is the round 16. It doesn't matter any longer. So it's just all the way up for anything, and if you can't do it, you better go home.
All right, a lot to discuss, but because it's pre-match pre-match analysis, I beg your pardon, I won't be talking too much. We'll be concentrating on the game. One problem we've had all tournament is that sometimes we do not know how to put the ball behind the net. Yes. How do we do that in the first 45 minutes?
It's important, and I like the fact that you have already said that we should do that in the first 45 minutes. In our first game against Equatorial Guinea, we did not score even before our opening, but we got our equalizer in the game as soon as possible in that game. But in our second game against Ivory Coast, we battled it, and it looked like we were just keeping a compact shape. And against Guinea-Bissau too,
we missed several chances. We missed several chances in
we've been creating. We've been creating a lot. But I think what we are supposed to do to even score more and even create more, we have not done it with the setup. And one of those things is freeing Iwobi from that defensive shackles of the
Is anybody putting him in the defensive shackles, or is he the one putting himself in that bondage?
With the setup, he doesn't have any choice than to always cover with Frank Onyeka. There is no box-to-box here. So it's just Zaidu and Aino roving on the flanks between them. So whenever those ones are up front, there are only 2 of them locking it in the middle. So it becomes a problem that we have. At least we should have, when we're attacking, we should have at least 5 or 6 men chasing that back. But with this kind of setup, we have
just a few
more bodies trying to stay compact
at the back,
more bodies
then up
trying
front.
To put the ball
a
into
few
the
guys.
back of the net. But when we have a prolific striker like Victor, we should be scoring. But with Ademola Lookman back in the starting lineup, I think we should see some flair up front. But what is important is that we will create more chances, but we must score them as quickly as possible.
You just made mention of it, Victor Osimhen. I think he has had a bad tournament, if we are being honest. 1 goal in 3 matches, but that was not even the problem. The problem is that he has been missing chances that he usually will bury. How do we unlock Victor tonight?
Create more chances for him. And of course, the confidence that he needs is scoring just 1 goal as quickly as possible. So that is just all he needs to ensure that he enjoys the rest of the game. Everybody has said it, even all his teammates have said it, that he leads from the front and he plays for the team. He would literally do anything. But then the primary thing that he should do, which I think is putting pressure on him, is his inability to get the ball into the back of the net. So maybe we should try and do a lot more of in terms of how we play this time around. Maybe not so much on the ball on the ground, because when he has the ball on his feet, he has about at least 1 or 2 defenders coming at him at the same time. But I've noticed that usually in this tournament, he is won aerial duels very well within and outside the box. Maybe we should just try some more teasing crosses markets, and that way too, he might just be able to direct one on target. And the closest he's been to goals, aside from those begging chances that was 1-on-1, the closest he's been to scoring was through headers too. And the only goal he has scored this tournament
was with his head.
As well. So maybe more teasing crosses and less of the ball on the ground. And not just Victor, we have other strikers on the bench too that we can always switch strategies with. But it depends on how many men and what kind of men we are even playing from the flanks as well. If you have Paul Onuachu and we can't cross, it's a waste of time.
That's a waste of 6'7" or 6'5".
And again, another thing that I think we should have done is introduce someone who will link Victor and the midfield perfectly. Maybe Kelechi Iheanacho. Maybe you will be getting an
maybe Ahmed Musa.
Maybe Tere Murphy coming to play as a
second line,
strike partner for Victor Osimhen. So those are the things that we should do. But it's absent in the lineup so far. But let's also we can bank on the flair of those we have in the team.
Beyond to interest you to know that most of our chances, or many of our chances, are falling in the hands of defenders. Zaidou Sanusi had about 2 or 3 chances that went begging. Olaino as well. So it looks like, because of the kind of formation we play, 3-4-3, there's always somebody or guys moving around, always coming and going. But how can we make use of these guys? Some Masliko movement, some John Terry things there, and then, the pressure goes off you when we get the ball, when we get the goal, and then why not?
They get a lot into the opponent's box. And our goal against Guinea-Bissau, which was an own goal by that defender, it came from one of the smart moves
Victor
of Olaino in that game.
Yeah, and then Moses Simon.
He got a very long pass, chased it down to the byline, to the touchline, and headed it straight
to Moses
Simon, who didn't waste time before crossing it into the box as well. So those timely moves, we should make timely passes to meet them too. And of course, they should endeavor to cross more, maybe more of more of square plays too, because if you are playing in that position and you are that sleek going forward, then you should be able to carry a lot of defenders, cut back, and play a square ball into someone that might just be running into the midfield or just into the box, or maybe at the front of the box too. So it's just about strategy and executing it. They must have been doing a lot of it in training.
Yeah, we just hope that what they've been doing in training will come out to meet us, the public, because this is exactly where we need to see some of the things. It's interesting to know that the players are actually coming onto the pitch right now. It's war because it's Nigeria versus Cameroon. It's never a friendly game whenever you're playing against the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. We were thinking it was going to be Guinea, but of course, football happened. Like Michel Ubi will say, football is like biscuits. You never know where and when it will crack. Of course, I know everybody out there is itching to watch what the first 45 minutes of this encounter is going to look like. Round of 16, Nigeria versus Cameroon. This is probably one of the most interesting African Cup of Nations we've had in history. Big boys dropping down, small boys coming up. But we've gotten to that stage where the men must be separated from the boys. Earlier today, Angola defeated, trashed, beat, properly took care of Namibia. 3-0 it ended. 2 goals in the very first half, 3-0 it ended, and trust me, AFCON is on. The guys are now on the pitch of play. Last words, if they can listen to you. Of course, we hope that they will listen to you somehow. Last words from you.
Well, at this point, they don't get to air, but then it's just about taking the game taking the game as quickly as possible. Let's just score. We had the momentum against Guinea-Bissau. Let's try as much as possible. Get one in the first half when the momentum is there. You expect the opponents to play, so you respect them, and of course they will do. So we should just ride on the confidence that we've always beaten Cameroon when it's not the final of the AFCON.
The beautiful thing though is that the Indomitable Lions have not had a good tournament themselves. They struggled to make it out of the group.
But being here,
Samuel Eto'o was practically crying with his boys and the whole game. But it's football. You know, when you get to this stage, anything can happen. And we do hope that it doesn't go into extra time, because when it goes to that level and it goes into penalties, it becomes anybody's game.
And you stretch the boys too, which doesn't really, which will be favorable going forward. Except that they make use of their depth.
The Nigerian national anthem is currently being played. Of course, you can see how the guys are using so much energy on the pitch to sing the national anthem. Now, I do hope that they use that same energy on the pitch of play with their legs. It's actually off now, but you look at the energy the guys are using to sing the national anthem. I do hope that they can play as much as they had sang. Like I said, your last words, Biodun, you said you hope they replicate some of the things they've done in training on the pitch of play. But I think we should look out for the dangers from Cameroon. This should be the last word now. Vincent Abubakar,
not in the starting lineup.
Not in the starting lineup, but he's back. Yeah, off school. But Christian J is also on the bench. Vincent Abubakar on the bench. We know what these guys can do. Very dangerous guys. That means they have fresh legs that can come on. We also have fresh legs. But how can we? Our defense has been fantastic all tournament, if we are being honest. But how can we hold these guys off regardless?
Well, at this point, I think we will have to play a lot of caution too, because as much as we have Ola and Zeyidu as dangerous on our flanks too, they have some of their defenders who are as dangerous as us too. They have Anguissa who battles in the midfield. So
Sabo Anguissa, teammate of Vincent.
We should be wary of that midfield battle. And they see Toko Ekambi as well.
Who is very dangerous.
He's very dangerous. So
can shoot from anywhere.
Vincent Abubakar can even come from the bench if he gets to that level. Yeah. So I think as much as we have work to do to score, we have a lot to do to curtail them.
Toko can be very dangerous, man. We saw him at the World Cup. We know what he can do with club football as well. All right, it's time for us to go now. The guys in the studios are saying, behind the scenes are saying it's time for us to go. Myself and Biodun will be back after the encounter. We do hope that our darling Super Eagles of Nigeria will make it to the next round. Glory, Super Eagles. Take it away, Mr. Producer.